AOC says so many people in this country hate women. Oh, geez. Even the guy at the party who pulls out a guitar is like, way to ruin the fun. You don't really love America if you hate half the people in it. And also, if you hate a lot of the things that everybody always loved about it. There's an oft-repeated moment in political debates where the moderator says to the two candidates, say something nice about your opponent.
Ever since AOC was crowned the Democrats' next big star for 2028, Bill Maher has been sounding the alarm louder than ever before. He warned them back in 2024 when the DNC shoved Kamala Harris into the spotlight, ignored every word of caution, and ended up paying the ultimate price. That political train wreck still haunts them to this day. And now, Maher is back, fiercer, sharper, and absolutely relentless, tearing into the cracks beneath their latest chosen one. He's not just speaking, he's practically yelling, pleading with the party not to steer straight into another disaster. If you're ready for brutal honesty and real political heat, get ready. This clip aired just weeks ago, and it ignited a firestorm.
What do you think of the fact that the people who are getting the big crowds right now are AOC and Bernie Sanders? They're going around the country. Thank you, there's that same guy. I call him the always wrong guy. Okay, but I feel like, big crowds, again, the shiny object that the Democrats chase. It's not about the big crowds that come out to you when you're talking in a festival or wherever they are. I think it's because I think Bernie showed up at Coachella. That must have been fun for the fans. It's who shows up on Election Day. And I just don't see that's the ticket. I mean, Cory Booker, I know you've worked with him. I like Cory a lot from my home state of New Jersey. Made a speech for 25 hours. Again, just whacking each other off. This is just not what's going to get the job done.
Just days after AOC's name exploded as a possible stand-in for Kamala Harris, the spotlight hit her, and it hit hard. But instead of rising to the occasion, AOC has been torching her own political image with every bewildering interview she gives. From odd economic tangents to chaotic policy statements, she's making waves, and not the good kind. If this is the rising star Democrats want to parade in 2028, they might want to slam the brakes and take a hard look, because the more she speaks, the louder the question becomes, is this really the best they've got?
Unemployment is low because everyone has two jobs. Unemployment is low because people are working 60, 70, 80 hours a week and can barely feed their kids.
Everybody's an idiot except for me.
Capitalism has not always existed in the world, and it will not always exist in the world. When this country
It is the system that, unlike all the others, has lifted more people out of poverty over the course of human history than any other system.
Well, so I think that those things that you talk about, that you discuss, are part of the course of human evolution. Yes, but I also think that what people are starting to see, at least in the occupation of Palestine, is just an increasing crisis of humanitarian condition.
And this is exactly why Bill Maher keeps slamming the panic button when it comes to AOC. Behind all the noise, the drama, and her constant online theatrics, there's almost no substance to back it up. She trades real insight for volume, thinking that shouting equals strength. But it doesn't. There's no strategy, no steady vision, just a non-stop performance aimed at impressing her online base, not leading a nation. Maher knows what's ahead. If Democrats throw their weight behind AOC in 2028, they're not just making a risky move. They're steering straight into a political disaster.
At an AOC Bernie Sanders rally in Idaho last month, someone threw a Palestinian flag over an American flag, and the crowd erupted in approval. What should have happened after that is one of the adults on stage should have told their young, loyal followers, this is not a symbol of freedom. This is. This is a serious problem for Democrats. Less than 1 in 4 Democrats under 30 say they're proud to be an American. 54% say they're embarrassed by it. Embarrassed? Like America's your mom picking you up at school? You're embarrassed to be an American? Well, guess what? The feeling's mutual. Because you have no perspective. Is America perfect? No, of course not. No country is.
Democrats are losing support, and they're losing it fast. A huge chunk of their base is sick and tired of the party chasing woke fantasies instead of tackling real-world problems. Biden didn't go out strong. His presidency ended in confusion, fatigue, and a mountain of broken promises. Kamala Harris only added fuel to the fire. Her rambling speeches and unclear answers drove voters away instead of winning them back. And AOC? She's sinking even deeper into the same echo chamber that's already pushing the heartland to the edge. Think Gavin Newsom or Tim Walz will swoop in and fix it all? Not a chance. Their records are packed with scandals, performative politics, and tone-deaf policies that drive people out instead of pulling them in. Even lifelong Democrats are turning their backs, some drifting toward centrists, others to independents, and many just giving up on voting altogether. This isn't just a leadership problem. It's a party-wide freefall that's completely out of step with economic pain, safety concerns, and basic common sense.
You don't really love America if you hate half the people in it. And also if you hate a lot of the things that everybody always loved about it. There's an oft-repeated moment in political debates where the moderator says to the two candidates, say something nice about your opponent.
We'll get to where Bill Maher is going in a moment, but first, let's break down what he's ripping apart. He's calling out the growing, almost obsessive disdain that AOC and her progressive allies have for the core values of America. Maher doesn't pull punches. He slams their staged outrage, their obsession with identity politics, and their habit of twisting patriotism into something shameful. In their playbook, if Trump supported it, it's automatically evil, no matter how helpful it actually is. Tax cuts for working families? Racist. Border security? Xenophobic. Energy independence? Climate denial? The facts don't matter. It's all about who said it. And Maher? He calls this circus exactly what it is: psychological self-sabotage. The Democrats aren't just battling Trump, they're rejecting common sense, and in doing that, they're driving away millions of Americans who still take pride in this country.
For all the talk about fighting for the soul of America, nobody seems to like it very much. Too many liberals give the impression that to them, America's just a big ugh. The red, white, and ew. A country that started out bad and will always be bad, founded on an unrelenting history of sucking and unable to change. But we have changed a lot. Democrat Cori Bush tweeted, "This land is stolen land and black people still aren't free." And this was on the 4th of July. Really? Not that I give a shit about the 4th of July. I've never been a rah-rah guy. But I am a perspective guy. And that's what too much of the left has lost, perspective.
Sometimes I hop on Twitter, scroll for 5 seconds, and slam it shut. The wave of anti-American rage is overwhelming. It feels like a digital mob led by young progressives trashing the very nation that gave them the freedom to shout in the first place. You see them tear apart everything: our history, our flag, our values. As if America is some villain in a cartoon, not the land that gave them a voice, comfort, and opportunities billions around the world can only dream of. I've traveled. I've seen what life is like beyond our borders, and believe me, most places can't come close to what we have here. Not in freedom, not in opportunity, and definitely not in prosperity. Yet, these keyboard crusaders act like mocking America is brave. It's not. It's blind, it's ungrateful, and frankly, it's embarrassing to watch.
72% of black people under 30 are optimistic about their future in America. Way more than white people the same age. And as far as the land goes, yes, I guess we could change the name of Captain America to Captain Stolen Land. But honestly, to all the people who start every public event now with one of those land acknowledgments where they say, "I'm standing on land that was stolen from the proud indigenous people of the Chumash tribe," I say either give it back or shut the fuck up.
Then there's the staged activism and cringe-worthy pantering from AOC, and it's becoming almost unbearable to watch. Every move she makes feels like a scripted show designed for applause and votes, not real leadership. She sells herself as a gritty, working-class warrior, but the truth behind the curtain tells a different story. Turns out, her real name is Sandy Ocasio, not exactly the fiery rebel image she's trying to brand. And that tale about growing up in the tough Bronx? Not quite. She was actually raised in a comfortable, upscale suburb. As for the bartending angle she keeps pushing, let's be honest, millions of students work in bars or restaurants. It's hardly a groundbreaking backstory. But AOC spins it like she clawed her way out of hardship, when the truth is, she's been performing as one of the people while enjoying every advantage. That's not authenticity, it's marketing. And now, people are finally seeing through the illusion.
AOC says so many people in this country hate women. Oh, geez. Even the guy at the party who pulls out a guitar is like, way to ruin the fun.
Compare what women can do in America to how they're treated in many parts of the world, and the contrast is absolutely staggering. Here in the US, women can vote, own property, chase any dream they want, wear what they choose, drive wherever they please, and live without being seen as less than men. They lead companies, win elections, speak their minds, and shape their futures, all without needing permission from anyone. That kind of freedom is still a distant dream in large parts of the world, where women are silenced, confined, or outright oppressed by ancient traditions and harsh laws. And yet, somehow, voices like AOC try to claim that America is waging war on women just because it doesn't cave to every extreme demand from woke ideologues. But disagreeing with gender theory isn't hatred. Saying no to big government control isn't oppression. The irony is jaw-dropping. They cry about systemic hate in a nation that gives women more power, more rights, and more security than nearly anywhere else on the planet.
Congressman Jamal Bowman says capitalism is slavery by another name. No, it's not. It's the thing that has given more people more prosperity and hope than any other system, flawed though it surely is.
And then there's the endless war on capitalism. And none of it makes sense. The loudest critics attack the very system that built the wealthiest, most innovative and opportunity-filled nation in the world. Sure, socialism and communism might sound good on paper, equal wealth, no poverty, shared success, but in reality, they're economic disasters. History is littered with the wreckage of nations that embraced those ideologies, only to crumble under mountains of bureaucracy, stifled creativity, and crushed ambition. Just look at Venezuela, Cuba, or the old Soviet Union. These were nations full of potential. Now they stand as cautionary tales, not blueprints. People risk everything to escape those broken systems and reach the American dream. That says everything. Capitalism isn't perfect, but it rewards hard work, inspires invention, and propels society forward. America shouldn't be toying with socialism. It should be running full speed in the opposite direction. We don't need fantasies. We need systems that work.
But again, something like the free market is kind of synonymous with America. And if you don't like it, I don't know how you can say you love this country. You know who loves this country? You know who's not constantly complaining about what happened 200 years ago and who's not obsessed with seeing America through shit-colored glasses and shaking off the stench of what irredeemable, privileged assholes we are? Immigrants.
Exactly, because immigrants know how much worse life can be outside of America. It's no coincidence that millions risk everything, limbs, lives, and freedom just for a chance to step onto U.S. soil. They trek through deserts, face deadly oceans, and endure unimaginable hardship, not for handouts, but for a shot at dignity, opportunity, and real freedom. If America were truly the nightmare that AOC and her allies describe, Then why are people from every continent still fighting tooth and nail to get here? The answer couldn't be more obvious. Even with its imperfections, America still shines as a beacon of hope. Immigrants aren't running towards socialism or identity politics. They're chasing the American dream. They know the difference between freedom and control. That's why it's laughable to hear privileged politicians bash this country while sitting comfortably in taxpayer-funded offices. Immigrants see what progressives pretend not to. America still works. The real irony? The loudest critics are often the most sheltered. Meanwhile, those who've endured real oppression understand exactly why this country still matters. Don't fall for the noise. America may not be perfect, but it remains the best shot at liberty, opportunity, and truth this world has ever known.